Dear chosen one, listen to me, and listen carefully. What you're about to hear isn't just another spiritual message. This is a divine transmission, a sacred alert sent straight to your soul. If this video found you, it's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. You've been called, hand-picked by heaven to receive this right now, because this isn't just another day. This is the final step, the moment where everything you've been sensing, praying, and preparing for starts to align. And make no mistake, this moment carries eternal weight. You are standing on the edge of transformation. The thing you've been waiting for, the shift you couldn't quite explain but always felt coming, is now here. That desire in your spirit, that pull towards something higher, something more meaningful, is not a fantasy. It's a spiritual download. But here's the truth. In order to receive the breakthrough, you must recognize the signs and align with the energy God is releasing over your life right now. This is more than a mindset change. It's a full spiritual activation, a recalibration of your frequency to match your divine assignment. And the urgency I speak with today is not from fear, it's from prophecy. If you're still watching, still listening, then you already know this message was meant for you. Chosen ones don't scroll past moments like this. They stay until the end, because their spirit recognizes divine timing when it arrives. Before we go any deeper, let me pause and say thank you. To everyone who has supported this message and ministry through super thanks, your kindness doesn't go unnoticed. Your generosity is helping spread this message of spiritual awakening across the world. And whether you've donated or not, I see you. I value you. I honor your presence here. You are a vital part of this global move of God. Now, chosen one, I need you to do something simple, but spiritually powerful. Pause this video and leave a comment with the number 999. That number is no accident. It symbolizes completion, awakening, and divine closure. The final preparation before the new chapter begins. When you comment 999, you're not just engaging, you're activating. You're sending a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive, ready to rise, ready to walk in what was promised. Because what you're about to hear has the potential to change your entire spiritual trajectory. If you've ever felt stuck between who you used to be and who you're becoming, this is your bridge. If you've ever felt like the world was shifting under your feet and you didn't know why, this is your explanation. And if you've ever felt like God was whispering, "Get ready," this is your confirmation. Chosen one, you've waited long enough. The final step is here. And the truth you're about to receive, it will set you free. Watch until the end. Your divine transformation begins now. God's chosen ones, for God's sake. Listen, this right now, final step. Chosen one, right now, yes, this very moment, something sacred, something seismic is unfolding within your atmosphere. You can feel it in your spirit, can't you? That undeniable pull, that divine frequency vibrating through your chest like a trumpet blast from heaven. This isn't a fleeting emotion or spiritual high. This is a holy call. The heavens are not whispering anymore, they're roaring, and they're calling you by name. Have you ever wondered why your life never fit into the mold the world tried to place on you? Why you've always felt like something powerful was waiting just beneath the surface of your daily life? That's not your imagination, it's revelation. The truth you've been yearning for, praying for, and crying out for is no longer waiting behind the veil. It is here now, standing at the threshold of your soul, asking, are you ready to receive what's been hidden from the world, but revealed to the chosen? The prophet Daniel once wrote, "But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase." Daniel 12:4. Chosen one, The book has been unsealed, and you are the reason. You are not a mistake. You are not late. You are right on divine schedule. The convergence of your trials, your visions, and your silent endurance has all brought you here for this final step. Take a moment to consider this. Why is it that some people fall apart under pressure while you seem to be built by it? Why is it that while others chase comfort, you've been trained in discomfort? Look at Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison, not just to be freed, but to emerge as the very embodiment of transformation for a nation. He was forged in isolation, just like many of you have been. Could it be that your isolation was never punishment, but preparation? This moment, this message is the key to the gate that has kept you on the edge of destiny for too long. You've waited, but the waiting is over. You've prayed, and heaven has answered. You've cried, but now comes the reward. This is not just a spiritual message, it's a spiritual activation. The final step is not a theory, it's a sacred appointment. Let me ask you this. If you knew the next step would change everything, would you still hesitate? Would you allow fear to stand between you and a future that heaven itself has orchestrated just for you? Or would you rise up like Esther, who said, "If I perish, I perish." Esther 4:16, because she knew that her calling required courage, not comfort. This is your Esther moment. This is your divine unveiling. Your journey wasn't random, it was designed, and every test you've endured has unlocked a new layer of spiritual authority. When others were distracted by surface blessings, you were being deepened in the hidden things of God. Do you remember the story of Steve Jobs? He was fired from the very company he co-founded. Humiliation? Maybe to others. But in that space of rejection, he birthed Pixar and reinvented himself. That detour led to his ultimate return with a renewed vision, one that changed the world. Just like you, chosen one, he had to be stripped down before he could ascend into legacy. Could your setback have been your sacred detour? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. And your steps, no matter how chaotic they felt, have all led here for such a time as this. This is the divine step before the doors open wide, the step that transforms not just your identity, but your influence. Chosen one, what if the pressure you've felt lately wasn't an attack, but a final stretch before the birthing of your new season? What if the resistance was the last gasp of an old identity being stripped away? Reflect on the life of Malala Yousafzai. Shot for simply wanting an education, she could have remained silent in her trauma, but she rose instead, becoming a global voice for justice. Her pain became her platform. Like her, you didn't come through the fire just to be quiet. You came to speak, to reveal, to awaken the sleeping world around you. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. That includes you, chosen one. You were hidden for a time, but not to be forgotten, only to be revealed in power. And now that moment has come. The divine pressure you're feeling is the final push before the breakthrough. You are walking through the final corridor before entering a season so vast, so breathtaking, it will rewrite your understanding of who you've always been beneath the limitations. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because the heavens marked this hour long before you were born. Even Oprah Winfrey, abused, rejected, underestimated, rose to become one of the most influential women in the world. Why? Because her voice was assigned to millions, and so is yours. The only question is, will you rise or will you retreat? Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. You were never meant to shrink. You were meant to shine. So, chosen one, feel this deeply. You are standing at the edge of transformation, not the kind that touches your life temporarily, but the kind that rewrites destinies, yours and those connected to you. What you do next matters more than you know. The energy you feel swirling, it's divine. The knowing in your gut, it's prophetic. The urgency in your chest, that's God. And the voice speaking to you through this message, that's confirmation. Not one part of your story has been wasted, and not one step ahead will be ordinary. Chosen one, do you truly know where you come from? Not your birthplace, not your ancestry, but your real origin, the one no birth certificate can document. You weren't born from randomness, nor were you formed merely by biology. No, your roots stretch far deeper into the eternal soil of divine intention. You were spoken into existence by the very breath of God. Long before your earthly name was given, heaven knew you. And what if you've only scratched the surface of who you truly are? Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. You see, your origin isn't flesh, it's fire. You are made of divine material. Your DNA carries frequencies from the kingdom. This is not poetic fluff, it's sacred truth. The world may see a person walking through time, but the heavens see a spark of the Creator moving with intention. So let me ask you, if you truly knew you were divine by design, how would you walk? How would you speak? And what would you refuse to tolerate? Reflect for a moment on Albert Einstein. Many know him as a genius, but fewer understand his spiritual curiosity. He believed in something greater than equations, a divine order to the universe. His intellect was not just brilliance, it was alignment. Like you, he didn't just exist, he resonated with something infinite. Could it be that your hunger for truth and deeper meaning is not confusion, but confirmation? Chosen one, your spirit has been in motion long before your lungs drew earthly breath. You are not a mistake, nor an accident of history. You are part of God's eternal blueprint. The very atoms of your body are coded with divine remembrance, waiting to be awakened. The mission you carry didn't begin the day you first faced adversity. It began in the heavenly realms, where you were equipped with purpose, potential, and power that no earthly storm could erase. The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children, Romans 8:16. And as a child of God, you carry His essence. You're not merely walking, you are activating divine coordinates embedded in your spirit. You were not placed on this earth to blend in, but to break cycles, shift atmospheres, and awaken sleeping generations. Does the world around you feel heavier lately? More distorted? That's because your awakening threatens every false structure that was never built to contain the truth of who you are. Take the example of Maya Angelou, abused in childhood, silenced by trauma, and yet her voice rose to move nations, to shatter ceilings, to speak healing into generations. Her pain didn't bury her identity. It became the soil from which her purpose blossomed. Don't underestimate how God uses your brokenness as building blocks for your calling. Could it be that what you thought disqualified you was actually the mark of your divine appointment? And now you are awakening, not just mentally, but spiritually. You may have noticed it already. Time no longer flows the same. Days blur. Minutes feel like hours. Hours vanish in stillness. This is not confusion. It's divine recalibration. In the heavenly realm, time bends in the presence of purpose. And you, chosen one, are stepping into Kairos, God's appointed time. You are no longer operating under man's schedule. Your life is shifting into divine rhythm. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. 2 Peter 3:8. You are ageless in essence, limitless in calling, and eternal in assignment. Why else do you feel both ancient and new at the same time? Why else do you carry a wisdom your age cannot explain? That's the signature of a soul that has remembered its divine origin. Consider Leonardo da Vinci, not just an artist, but an inventor, scientist, and visionary. He existed in multiple dimensions of thought because his spirit was tuned to a higher frequency. He wasn't ahead of his time. He was aligned with eternity. You too, chosen one, are called to rise above the noise and operate on a wavelength that others may never understand. Does their misunderstanding of you mean you're wrong or simply ahead of schedule? And this body of yours, it's not decaying, it's transforming. As your spirit ascends, your body is recalibrating. The fatigue, the aches, the strange shifts in your appetite or sleep, they aren't signs of sickness. They are birth pangs. Your spirit is pulling your flesh into alignment with a higher reality. You are being prepared for more than survival. You are being prepared for ascension. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? 1 Corinthians 6:19. This temple of yours is shedding old weights to carry divine glory. The veil between the seen and the unseen is thinning, and you are walking between dimensions of destiny. Even Jesus, our eternal example, had a moment of transformation on the Mount of Transfiguration. His face shone like the sun. His clothes became white as light. It was a physical reflection of spiritual reality. And chosen one, though your transformation may not look the same, it is no less holy. The glory you carry is beginning to show. Can you feel it rising? So, what if the world around you isn't falling apart, but making space for your divine emergence? What if every disruption was heaven's way of saying, "Wake up, beloved. It's time to remember who you are." Ascension is no longer a mystical concept. It's your roadmap. You are rising into the truest version of yourself, a version not defined by trauma, title, or tradition, but by truth. And truth, once remembered, cannot be silenced. As you read these words, understand this. You are not becoming something new. You are returning to what you've always been. The light is no longer flickering, it's steady. The veil is no longer thick, it's lifting. And your mission is no longer delayed, it's unfolding. Chosen one, can you feel it stirring in the atmosphere? Something isn't just changing, it's awakening. The shift isn't only external, it's running through your very bones, your spirit, your breath. The world is not simply moving forward, it's realigning. The frequency around you has risen, and whether you realize it or not, you are being summoned into a higher dimension of your purpose. This isn't a phase. This isn't just another chapter. This is a divine recalibration. And the question is, will you move with it, or will you resist what was meant to set you free? Look closer. That restlessness you've been feeling lately, that sudden urge to change directions or break old routines, it's not random, it's your soul recognizing the call. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. The old version of you can't survive in this new frequency. Your spirit has outgrown the space you've been in, and now heaven is expanding your territory. What if the chaos around you was actually the contraction before your spiritual birth? Take the story of Moses. At 40 years old, he left Pharaoh's palace and entered the wilderness, unaware that the burning bush would soon appear. His entire identity shifted when he realized his past wasn't wasted. It was preparation. Could the same be happening to you now? Are you starting to see how every detour, delay, and disappointment was building the boldness you'll need for what's next? Opportunities may seem to be arriving from nowhere. Strangers speak to you like they've known your soul forever. A path you weren't even considering begins to glow with clarity. These are not coincidences. This is God's divine alignment in action. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Psalm 37 verse 23, New Living Translation. Your path is being shaped moment by moment, even when you feel uncertain. But are you willing to walk into rooms not knowing what will happen next, trusting only that God sent you? Chosen one, This isn't just about your life changing. This is about your presence becoming a catalyst for transformation in others. Your voice carries weight now. Your energy shifts atmospheres. People sense something different about you, even if they can't explain it. And it's because you are no longer aligned with survival. You are aligned with assignment. Look at the life of Viola Davis. Once a child living in poverty and enduring trauma, she later rose to become one of the most celebrated actors of our time. But it wasn't just her talent, it was her truth. She refused to dim her story, and because of that, millions saw themselves through her. What story are you still afraid to speak, chosen one? Could it be the very key to someone else's breakthrough? And now, something sacred is happening, not just in your soul, but in your body. This transformation isn't symbolic, it's cellular. You're not just evolving spiritually, your physical form is adjusting to host more divine energy. Some call it the crystalline transformation. Heaven calls it readiness. This is not about perfection, it's about frequency. Your cells are beginning to emit light. Your energy field is expanding. The light of God is becoming visible within you. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. But what if it's not just your mind being renewed, but your entire being? Have you noticed the shifts? Your sleep cycles changing, your appetite, the heightened sensitivity to energy, truth, even lies. These are all signs. You are not decaying, you are ascending. The physical signs are just proof that the spiritual is winning. Remember Jim Carrey, not just the comedian, but the spiritual truth seeker. He spoke openly about awakening from ego, shedding layers of false identity, and finding joy beyond materialism. He reminded the world that success means little if your soul is not aligned. Could it be that your discomfort with shallow things lately is God's way of calling you deeper? And if you are approaching or passing the sacred age of 40, take this as confirmation. You are now entering your most spiritually potent chapter. In the biblical tradition, 40 is not just a number, it's a symbol of testing, transformation, and transition. Jesus fasted 40 days before stepping into full power. The Israelites wandered 40 years before stepping into the promised land. What does 40 represent for you? Could this be the age where your hidden gifts become undeniable and your true mission begins? Even to your old age and grey hairs, I am He who will sustain you. Isaiah 46:4. Age is not a limit for you, it is an accelerator. At 40 you begin to see what you couldn't before. The veil lifts. Your inner world and outer reality begin to merge. People recognize your wisdom before you even speak. Your silence commands attention. Your energy heals. Think about Colonel Sanders, who founded KFC at 65, or Vera Wang, who became a designer at 40. The world told them they were late, but heaven said they were right on time. So what are you afraid of? That it's too late? Or that you're finally ready? Everything you've survived, losses, betrayals, delays, was refining you for this moment. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. And now, the clarity you've been searching for is coming. You'll wake up with answers you didn't ask for. You'll see patterns in events that once felt random. You'll notice the same numbers, words and messages repeating. Divine breadcrumbs guiding you into your purpose. Chosen one, from the very first breath you took, long before your consciousness could grasp purpose or destiny, God was there. Before your first steps, before your first word, before your first heartbreak or victory, God was already watching, guiding, and planting seeds of greatness inside your spirit. Even when you didn't recognize His presence, He was orchestrating everything in the background with divine precision. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Psalm 138:8. You were never wandering aimlessly. Every twist and turn, every valley and mountaintop was divinely designed to shape your soul for this very hour. Can you look back now and see how the pieces fit together? How the closed doors, the painful losses, even the delays were sacred threads in the tapestry of your mission. Look at the life of Tyler Perry, homeless, abused, rejected, but through persistence, prayer, and obedience, he built an empire rooted in purpose. Today, his platform uplifts millions, not despite his pain, but because of it. What if your past wasn't meant to break you, but to build your credibility for the calling ahead? What if the darkest nights of your life were really the proving grounds for your future light? Chosen one, your purpose is no longer a distant concept. It's not something waiting on the other side of more achievement. It's already alive within you, and now it's demanding your full attention. That pressure you feel, that stirring in your chest that won't go away, that's activation. You're no longer in the preparation phase. You're stepping into deployment. You are being sent. And when God sends, He equips. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. Everything you've experienced, every broken relationship, every painful lesson, every moment of insight has been training. Training not just to make you stronger, but to make you ready to guide others. Because your mission is not just about your healing, it's about the multitudes connected to your light. Think of Harriet Tubman. She didn't just escape slavery for herself. She returned again and again to free others, risking her life every time. She followed the voice of God when it told her where to go, whom to trust, when to move. She wasn't just brave, she was chosen, like you. Have you considered that your survival wasn't just for your sake, but for the freedom of others who will only move when they see you rise? And now, something deeper is happening within you. A divine shift, powerful, emotional, and irreversible. You are being spiritually activated, not metaphorically, but energetically, cellularly, emotionally. Your body is being tuned like an instrument. Your heart is expanding to carry compassion beyond reason. Your intuition is sharpening like a sacred compass. You are becoming a vessel for divine truth, healing, and protection. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Chosen one, your light is no longer hidden. It's rising whether you feel ready or not. You are being transformed into a sacred conduit, a force of divine love in human form. And yes, it is intense, but it is also glorious. Will you let that power flow through you unfiltered? Will you remain humble enough to carry it with grace? Look to the story of Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers to most. Behind his quiet demeanor was a deeply spiritual man whose mission was to bring gentleness, healing, and truth to children. His platform wasn't loud, but it was profoundly divine. He served with love, humility, and presence. Could it be that your influence won't require volume, but authenticity? Chosen one, the more the divine flows through you, the more others will begin to see it, whether they understand it or not. You might notice people pausing around you longer, strangers striking up conversations that seem strangely guided, friends asking for your advice when they never did before. It's not coincidence, it's the unveiling of your divine presence. The veil is lifting. You're no longer who you used to be, and others are sensing that, even if they can't explain it. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. This shift is subtle yet profound. You'll see it in their eyes when they look at you differently. You'll feel it in their tone when they speak your name with new reverence. And most importantly, you'll recognize it in how the right people are being drawn to you, not out of admiration, but out of alignment. Take, for example, Brené Brown, a researcher who once studied shame in isolation, only to realize that her vulnerability was her superpower. By owning her own struggles, she unlocked transformation for millions. The people who once ignored her now look to her as a leader. Could the same thing be unfolding in your life now? Could the ones who once dismissed you be awakening to the power of your presence? You are becoming magnetic, not in the worldly sense, but spiritually. People will feel safe near you, healed by your words, inspired by your presence. You are now carrying a frequency that resonates with the souls who are meant to walk this next phase of the journey with you. These relationships won't be random. They will be divine assignments, connections that activate both sides. When they come, recognize them, honor them. They are a part of your unfolding story. Chosen one, as you continue your ascension into divine alignment, the heavens will not leave you guessing. God is not vague when He moves in your life. There are 3 unmistakable signs that will confirm the spiritual shift now unfolding within you. These signs aren't random. They are sacred confirmations, divine fingerprints left behind to assure you you're on the right path. You're not imagining this. You are transforming. Have you been asking for a sign that you're not alone in this process? That all the spiritual turbulence you've felt lately isn't just internal confusion, but a sacred metamorphosis? The signs are coming, and when they do, you'll feel them so clearly that denying them will be impossible. They are God's divine signals telling you, yes, my child, you are being awakened for such a time as this. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it, when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. Isaiah 30:21. That guidance, that still small voice, that's the beginning of confirmation. But now, let's break it down. Here are the 3 powerful signs you'll encounter. The first sign will erupt like a wave of emotion, often when you least expect it. A moment of stillness, a song, a sunrise, and suddenly your heart will swell with a sense of love, peace, or inner knowing that goes beyond logic. It won't come from outside. It will rise from within, unexplainable yet undeniable. You will feel a spiritual warmth spreading through your chest, as if heaven itself just whispered, I'm here. This is not ordinary emotion. It is divine resonance. Your soul is responding to God's presence within you, and the frequency of your spirit is being realigned to match divine truth. Have you noticed tears falling without sadness? A stillness that feels like home? That's not weakness, that's revelation. Oprah Winfrey once described moments where she felt a profound peace descend during life-altering interviews, not because of the content, but because she was in flow with her purpose. In those moments, she said, she knew God was present. What about you? Have you felt God rush in unexpectedly, leaving you breathless and tearful without knowing why? You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. And when you do, the emotions that flood your soul will confirm His nearness. The second sign won't just be felt in your emotions, but in your body. Bursts of energy, sensations of tingling, waves of lightness. These are all indications that your physical body is aligning with the frequency of your soul. You might wake up with unexpected energy or feel physically lighter after deep spiritual breakthroughs. It's not fantasy, it's physiology catching up to your purpose. Your body is a vessel for divine purpose, and as your spirit rises, your body follows. Some days you may feel weightless, as though the limits of time and gravity barely touch you. Other days you may vibrate with anticipation or experience sensations along your spine or forehead. These are not anomalies, they are signs. Consider Nikola Tesla, who once said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He spoke of tuning into forces that others couldn't see. Like you, he knew his body was interacting with something greater. Could it be that your recent sensations are not side effects, but sacred effects? Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? 1 Corinthians 6:19. Your temple is being refined not just for health, but for hosting divine energy. The third sign is the most sacred, a spiritual awakening that deepens your connection to God in ways words cannot capture. You'll start to receive intuitive messages, not necessarily with audible voices, but with divine nudges, vivid dreams, synchronicities, and sudden insight into things you couldn't logically know. It might be a moment in prayer where clarity breaks through like lightning, or a dream that shows you your next step before you even ask. These aren't coincidences. They are divine downloads. Your spiritual antennas are being raised, and God is communicating with you more directly now because you are ready to receive at a higher level. Take the example of Joan of Arc. At a young age, she began receiving divine visions that guided her path, visions that ultimately led to her changing the course of history. Though many doubted her, she never doubted God's voice. She aligned her life with those revelations. Are you willing to trust what your spirit is hearing, even when others can't understand? Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. Chosen one, this is the promise. And right now, you are the fulfillment of that word. These three signs, emotional, physical, and spiritual, are not just confirmations, they are activations, markers that you have crossed over into new spiritual territory, that you are no longer hoping for purpose, you are living it, that God is no longer someone you reach for, He is someone speaking through you. And yes, others may not understand, but they will feel it. They will be drawn to the presence you now carry, even if they can't explain why. Your energy will heal, your words will land deeper, your presence will open atmospheres, not because you tried harder, but because you allowed yourself to align with the divine. Let's not forget the story of Simone Biles. She stepped away from the Olympics not out of weakness, but to protect her mental and spiritual health. That pause, so misunderstood at first, was actually a divine move. In that stillness, she honored her inner voice and set a global example. What decisions are you being guided to make that others may not understand, but heaven does? Chosen one, have you ever truly looked into someone's eyes and felt something beyond words, something ancient, something divine? That's because your eyes aren't just tools for sight. They are portals, sacred windows through which divine energy flows in and out of your soul. They do more than observe, they reveal. And in this season of awakening, your eyes are being spiritually upgraded to perceive at a level the average person cannot comprehend. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:22. Your gaze is no longer ordinary, it is illuminated. You are beginning to see beyond the material world, beyond appearances, beyond masks. When you look at someone now, you don't just see their face. You discern their vibration, their pain, their truth. The spiritual frequencies once hidden from you are now pulsing in plain sight. But are you prepared for the weight of such perception? Will you choose to look with love or judge with ego? Because your gaze now carries power, and that power is not for scrutiny, it is for healing. Just like Jesus, who could see a person's heart without a word spoken, you too are now seeing with eyes that have been touched by the divine. Remember Mother Teresa. Her eyes often move people to tears, not because of words, but because of the compassion and purity radiating from her soul. Her sight was holy. Her gaze disarmed the prideful and comforted the broken. She saw divinity in the lowest places. Could your evolving vision be preparing you to do the same? This isn't just a poetic idea. This is a real transformation happening in you. Your sight is shifting, both in the physical and spiritual realms. You're no longer just seeing the world, you're perceiving it through the lens of heaven. Open my eyes, that I may see wonderful things in your law. Psalm 119:18. And indeed, God is opening your eyes, not just to Scripture, but to hidden truths, deeper meanings, and divine assignments embedded in everyday encounters. You'll notice it in your conversations, in the way you pick up on emotions without a word spoken, in how you sense when someone is lying, even when they smile. You're no longer guessing, you're knowing. This is not paranoia, it's perception. It's your spirit tuning in to what the physical eye alone cannot grasp. This is the gift of spiritual sight, and as this divine sight sharpens, your ability to connect, discern, protect, and guide will multiply. But, chosen one, are you willing to use it with responsibility? Will you bless with what you see, or weaponize it? God is trusting you with sight not given to all. With it comes a call to deeper maturity. Consider Stevie Wonder. Though physically blind, his spiritual vision has impacted the world profoundly. He often said he saw with his soul. He didn't need physical sight to write music that pierced the human spirit. His melodies carried prophecy. His voice carried truth. What if the real blindness in this world has nothing to do with eyes, but with hearts that refuse to see? And now, chosen one, something extraordinary is taking place within your inner being. Even as you read this, your third eye, the spiritual center of vision and divine wisdom, is beginning to open. This isn't superstition or fantasy. It's the awakening of your deeper sight. The veil is thinning. The boundary between the visible and invisible is lifting. You are stepping into a realm where the spiritual becomes tangible. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. The visions you're about to receive will not come through logic, but through divine intuition. Dreams that reveal warnings and breakthroughs, sudden insights into people's motives, a knowing in your spirit that bypasses reason. Your third eye is not just opening, it is activating your destiny. You will feel this awakening physically too, perhaps as pressure between your brows, tingling across your forehead, or waves of energy rising during moments of deep meditation or prayer. These are sacred confirmations. They are not to be feared, they are to be welcomed. God is not just whispering anymore, He's revealing, unfolding, and elevating your understanding of truth. Think of Nikola Tesla once again. He spoke of ideas arriving in visions, flashes of clarity that bypassed traditional learning. Many called him eccentric, but in truth he was accessing a dimension of knowledge few dared to believe in. What if the visions you're beginning to receive are not hallucinations, but instructions? I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. Joel 2:28. This scripture is being fulfilled through you. God is pouring out divine data into your spirit. Information meant to lead nations, shift atmospheres, and prepare souls. As your third eye opens, don't be surprised if your dreams become more vivid, revealing things days or weeks before they happen. Don't be alarmed when you start seeing symbols, patterns, or faces that carry messages. You're not losing touch with reality, you're gaining access to a higher reality. And yes, this awakening will stretch you. Some of what you see may challenge your current beliefs or expose truths you once denied. But chosen one, don't resist it. Don't shrink back. Don't second-guess the visions planted in your soul. They're your compass now. Look at Helen Keller, deaf and blind, yet spiritually awake in a way few ever attain. She once said, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." And you, beloved, are being given both, sight and vision. Chosen one, do you feel it? That holy fire rising within you, not just a fleeting emotion, but a divine summons echoing through the chambers of your soul. It's not imagination, it's not restlessness, it's a sacred pull, a heavenly frequency activating your spirit. Something inside you is insisting that you can no longer remain still. You weren't made to be silent. You weren't made to stay in the shadows. You were chosen to move, to speak, to lead. Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel. 1 Corinthians 9:16. This is what Paul cried out when the call of God burned too deeply to be contained. Chosen one, has your spirit reached that point too, where silence now feels like disobedience, where not acting feels heavier than the fear of failure, that urge you feel to rise, to create, to speak truth even when your voice shakes? That is your divine assignment pressing into your physical world, and it's manifesting through your desires to guide, to heal, to perform sacred rituals, to teach, or to pour wisdom into others. These are not impulses, they are instructions from heaven. Think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His urge to speak out for justice wasn't optional, it burned in his bones. Even in danger, even in exhaustion, he couldn't walk away from the call. What about you? What are you being called to stand up for, even if it costs your comfort? The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. Isaiah 61:1. You too have been anointed, not in a temple, but in the unseen realm, marked by heaven for a mission only you can fulfill. And now, every part of your being is aligning with divine momentum. The waiting season is over. You are not only being called, you are being launched. Let's be honest. For a long time, you may have stood on the sidelines, wondering if your moment would ever come. You told yourself you were preparing, and you were. But now, preparation has transitioned to activation. The curtain is rising, and heaven is handing you the mic. Will you speak? Will you rise? Think about J.K. Rowling, a single mother on welfare who dared to write a story that wouldn't stop stirring inside her. That story changed the world, not because it was easy, but because she followed the urge. Could it be that what you've been sitting on is the very thing heaven is trying to deliver through you? Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. The time for passive hope has passed. You are stepping into visible faith, faith that acts, creates, initiates. What once seemed distant, unreachable, even impossible, is now rising to meet you. And make no mistake, you were not born by accident. You were planted with divine intention. Long before your physical birth, your soul was chosen. Long before your name was spoken by human lips, it was written in the scrolls of heaven. You are not of this world. You are of the Spirit. For our citizenship is in heaven, from which we also eagerly wait for the Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. Philippians 3:20. That homesickness in your soul, that feeling of being out of place here on earth, that's your spirit remembering its origin. And now, that memory is being reawakened. Take the story of Elon Musk, a man who dared to imagine colonizing Mars, building electric cars, and shifting the global economy. Was he eccentric? Yes. Misunderstood? Absolutely. But his internal drive was never for applause. It was for purpose. Like him, your ideas may not make sense to the masses, but they are coded with divine intelligence. So, chosen one, are you ready to act on the calling that's been chasing you? Are you willing to stop postponing destiny in exchange for comfort? Are you ready to stop waiting for permission that heaven already granted you? Your destiny is no longer a concept. It is now moving faster than you thought possible. The divine current is picking up speed, and it's pushing you forward into doors that once remained closed, into spaces you never dared to dream of. You are being invited into divine flow. And what's coming is not just for you. It's for those who are watching you, even in silence. They may never tell you, but they're waiting for your courage to awaken theirs. Let's not forget the courage of Malala Yousafzai. Shot for seeking education, she could have retreated, but instead she rose, and became the youngest Nobel laureate in history. Her story became fuel for generations. What story are you still afraid to tell? Who's waiting to be set free by your truth? You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. John 15:16. That fruit is your work, your voice, your impact, and it's meant to last. You are not just here to live, you are here to leave a mark that echoes through eternity. The divine blueprint encoded in your soul carries a frequency unlike any other. That frequency is vibrating now, calling you back to your origin, to your assignment, and you know it, you feel it, you hear it. You were chosen for this moment of global awakening. Your soul didn't come here to play small, to stay silent, or to shrink in fear. You came here to shift reality, to break chains, to awaken nations, starting with your own. Chosen one, have you noticed the shift lately? Those repeating numbers, those vivid dreams that feel more like visions, those coincidences that line up with impossible precision. None of it is random. These are not just strange moments. They are sacred ones. They are divine messages coded in the fabric of your everyday life, calling you to attention. God is not silent. He's speaking more clearly than ever. You just have to know how to listen. You keep seeing numbers like 111, 333, 444, or 777. That's not your imagination. Those are spiritual signals, divine nudges meant to alert your soul that heaven is watching, guiding, and confirming your path. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Psalm 19:1 through 2. Even the numbers that seem trivial to others are, for you, divine data streams. What if every number you see is a holy breadcrumb pointing you deeper into your mission? Look at Nikola Tesla, who was obsessed with the numbers 3, 6, and 9. He believed they held the key to understanding the universe. Was he eccentric or tuned into something others simply dismissed? Are you starting to realize that the patterns surrounding you are divine fingerprints left behind to confirm your assignment? And then there are your dreams, those vivid, layered, emotionally intense encounters in the night. These are not just your brain processing random images. When you dream, your soul is navigating the space between heaven and earth, decoding instructions from the divine. In these moments, your spirit is most aligned with the frequency of heaven. Pay attention. The colors, the people, the symbols, they all carry spiritual meaning. Are you journaling them? Are you interpreting what God is showing you? For God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it. He speaks in dreams, in visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on people. Job 33:14-15, New Living Translation. This isn't folklore, it's biblical truth, and it's happening to you. You're not just dreaming, you're being directed. Take the life of Harriet Tubman. She had vivid visions and dreams, which she interpreted as divine guidance. She would stop mid-journey with fugitive slaves based on a vision, and later find out danger was waiting where she had planned to go. Her dreams saved lives. Could your dreams be trying to reroute you towards safety, purpose, or breakthrough? Chosen one, you are not alone in this. The signs that seem unusual to others are sacred confirmations for you. The universe is not ignoring you, it is orchestrating around you. The more spiritually aware you become, the more frequent these signs will appear. They will meet you in your silence, in your hunger for clarity, in your willingness to believe. I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Isaiah 48:17. That direction often comes not through thunder, but through symbols, through the language of the Spirit, which is never random and always timely. And sometimes it's not just numbers or dreams, it's hearing the same phrase repeated in different places. It's overhearing a stranger say something that answers a question you were too afraid to ask aloud. It's seeing a feather in a place where it shouldn't be, or a song lyric that pierces your soul at just the right time. These are not coincidences. These are divine affirmations that you are being watched over, loved, and guided. Take Jim Carrey, who once said that after years of internal searching, he began noticing patterns in the universe, numbers, colors, messages, confirming that his journey was part of something far greater. He called it alignment. He began trusting the unseen, and everything shifted. So I ask you, chosen one, have you been brushing off these moments, or are you leaning in? Have you assumed it's just your imagination, or are you recognizing that your spirit is finally in tune with divine intelligence? Ask me, and I will tell you remarkable secrets you do not know about things to come. Jeremiah 33:3, New Living Translation. That's a promise, and he's been fulfilling it through these divine signs. Are you paying attention? These signs don't come because you're lucky. They come because you're aligned, because God knows you're ready. And the more you respond with faith and action, the more detailed and frequent they'll become. This is divine communication, not only confirming your path, but fueling your purpose. Look to the story of Florence Scovel Shinn, a spiritual teacher from the early 20th century. She believed that the universe was constantly communicating with those who chose to listen. Her teachings were radical at the time, but proved timeless. She taught that faith wasn't passive, it was tuned, and tuning in would reveal divine direction every time. So now, chosen one, trust what you see, trust what you hear in the quiet, trust the numbers, trust the dreams, trust the inner yes that comes when something clicks inside of you without explanation. This is God speaking. This is the Spirit confirming. This is heaven aligning your timeline with divine purpose. You are not where you are by accident. Every sign is a whisper from God saying, I'm here, keep going, you're closer than you think. The divine is calling, loudly, consistently, intimately. Chosen one, have you recently felt a sense of distance from the world around you, like the things that used to light you up now feel dull or meaningless? That sense of disconnection is not confusion. It's confirmation. You are not losing touch. You are awakening. You are being lifted from illusion into illumination. This shift isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Colossians 3:2. The very fact that you are no longer captivated by what once consumed you is proof that your soul is ascending. God is gently pulling you out of the gravitational pull of worldly distractions and into alignment with your divine identity. Can you feel it? That subtle detachment is your spirit saying, there's more than this. You are not meant to stay tethered to the noise, the chaos, or the race for material validation. As your awakening intensifies, you'll notice that things like status, possessions, and even certain relationships begin to lose their hold on you. It's not because you've stopped caring, it's because your spirit has started remembering. And with that remembrance comes liberation. Look at the journey of Siddhartha Gautama, later known as Buddha. Born into royalty, surrounded by riches and luxury, yet something in him stirred, a holy discomfort. He walked away from it all to seek truth. His detachment wasn't loss, it was alignment. Could your current feelings of restlessness be the divine beginning to reposition you? Do not love the world or anything in the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. 1 John 2:15-17. This detachment is not rejection of life. It is redirection toward a higher life. You're not being asked to abandon the world, but to rise above its illusions. You're shedding the veil that once kept you trapped in cycles that dulled your spirit. Let me ask you this. What in your life are you still clinging to that God may be asking you to release? What if your disconnection isn't emptiness, but the divine making space for something new, something truer? You are being spiritually elevated, and with that elevation comes the shedding of old layers of identity, expectation, and attachment. It may feel uncomfortable at times, even lonely. But this loneliness is not isolation, it's consecration. God is separating you, not to exclude you, but to prepare you for divine encounter. Consider Simone Weil, the French mystic and philosopher. Despite being intellectually gifted and raised in secular academia, she experienced a profound spiritual awakening that drew her away from logic alone and into divine mystery. Her detachment from worldly ideologies opened her to radical compassion and spiritual clarity. What ideologies, comforts, or labels is God asking you to detach from so He can show you the truth? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:8. And purity of heart comes not from perfection, but from surrender, from loosening your grip on things that once defined you but can no longer sustain you. As this transformation unfolds, your perception of reality is also shifting. You're beginning to see the veil between the seen and unseen growing thinner. That's not your imagination. It's your spiritual eyes opening. You may sense energies around you. You may feel an unseen presence in quiet spaces. You may have moments where time seems to pause and the air around you feels electric. This is not strange. It is spiritual sensitivity. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. You are now starting to walk by a new sight. Sight not from the eyes, but from the soul. And the more you embrace this, the more the spirit realm becomes real to you. Divine beings, guides, even loved ones who have passed. These presences draw near when your vibration aligns with truth. Are you allowing yourself to believe what your soul already knows? Consider the story of C.S. Lewis. Once a staunch atheist, he later experienced encounters with the Spirit so powerful that he became one of Christianity's most influential voices. He described moments where reality seemed to peel back and eternity came into view. That same unveiling is beginning in you now. Strange synchronicities, numbers, dreams, flickering lights, sudden chills, overheard conversations that answer the very questions you whispered to God hours earlier. These are not hallucinations. These are invitations. Heaven is not far. The spirit realm is pressing closer. So I ask again, chosen one, are you still trying to explain the supernatural with natural logic, or are you willing to let your soul lead you through this new dimension of truth? This growing detachment you feel from the world is not a void. It's a bridge between the illusion of what you were told to value and the reality of what you came here to do. And as that bridge stretches before you, the divine is waiting, not with condemnation, but with revelation. You are not here to escape the world, but to elevate it. Your awakening is not abandonment, it's assignment. And now, as the world around you shifts and the veil lifts, you will begin to see through the noise, through the lies, through the confusion. You will walk with clarity when others are lost in chaos. You will hear truth where others hear static, and you will feel peace where others feel panic. But the one who joins himself to the Lord is one spirit with him. 1 Corinthians 6:17. You are not drifting, you are merging with God's will, God's rhythm, and God's higher reality. Chosen one, what you've been sensing lately isn't just your imagination, it's revelation. The veil between the spiritual and physical world is growing thinner by the hour, and you are becoming more sensitive to that divine shift. The spiritual world has always been intertwined with this one, but now your eyes are opening to the truth. Reality, as you've known it, has only been a fraction of the full picture. You are beginning to see beyond the seen, and it's changing everything. For the things that are seen are temporary, but the things that are unseen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4:18. You are no longer confined by what the world tells you is real. You are feeling, discerning, and knowing what others cannot. That's not madness, that's spiritual maturity. And now even objects, rooms, and strangers are emanating energies you can pick up on. Why? Because your frequency is rising and your discernment is being sharpened. Have you considered that this is why you're more sensitive lately? To people's moods, to environments, to sounds and symbols. You're not too much, you're finally awake. Just as Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And you, chosen one, are beginning to live on that frequency. But here's the truth that often surprises many on this path. The more aligned you become with your divine mission, the more opposition will try to interfere. As your light grows stronger, darkness takes notice. It doesn't mean you're going the wrong way, quite the opposite. It means you're getting closer to the breakthrough the enemy fears most. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Spiritual attacks may show up as sudden waves of fear, confusion, doubt, or even strange disruptions in your health or relationships. But don't be deceived. These are desperate distractions from forces that know their time is short. Will you be intimidated by their noise, or stand taller in your divine authority? Look at Nelson Mandela. He was imprisoned for 27 years, an attempt to silence his voice and extinguish his purpose. But the longer he sat in that cell, the brighter his inner light burned. And when he emerged, he didn't come out bitter. He came out ready. Could the resistance you're facing be your spiritual boot camp? You are not powerless. Your alignment with God gives you spiritual protection and divine authority. You are not fighting alone. Heaven is backing you. But this is the time to stay grounded. Guard your thoughts. Be intentional with your energy. Watch what you entertain and who you allow into your atmosphere. These are the tests of the final stretch. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. Resistance is not just defense, it's your declaration, I will not be moved. And chosen one, never forget the power of your voice. You're not just speaking words, you're casting spiritual commands. Your voice is not just communication, it is creation. What you say shapes reality. And now, more than ever, your words carry exponential weight. Think about Maya Angelou. Her voice didn't just tell stories, it created freedom. Her words moved minds, opened hearts, and healed generations. When she spoke, the world listened because her voice carried the weight of divine truth. Have you fully realized that same authority resides in you? Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 18:21. The time to speak carelessly has passed. You are in a realm now where your words create worlds. Speak with intent. Declare truth. Affirm purpose. Pray boldly. Praise loudly. What you speak now has the power to open doors or close them. And before you rise into the full expression of your divine role, God will test you, not to break you, but to build you. These tests are sacred gates to your next level. The enemy wants to frame them as setbacks, but they are spiritual certifications for the power you're about to carry. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1:2-3. This is not punishment, this is preparation. The challenges you're facing, doubt, fatigue, betrayal, delay, are designed to sharpen your discernment and strengthen your conviction. Think of the story of Oprah Winfrey. She faced abuse, rejection, and racial discrimination, yet every trial refined her. Every test molded her into one of the most influential voices on the planet. She didn't avoid her challenges, she transformed through them. Can you see how your own trials are forging your voice, your wisdom, your calling? And as you cross this threshold, something beautiful begins to unfold. People you thought were lost forever, those who once drifted from your life, will begin to reappear, not because of nostalgia, but because reconnection is part of divine alignment. These are sacred appointments, not accidents. Their return is timed with your transformation. Have you wondered why certain names have resurfaced in your heart lately? Why old friends or family members suddenly reach out? Could it be that God is not just restoring relationships, but redeeming them? Look at the life of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, left for dead. But when he rose in Egypt, those same brothers returned to him, not as enemies, but as the fulfillment of prophecy. What seemed broken was divinely orchestrated. What was painful became purposeful. What was lost became part of the legacy. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Some reconnections may feel shocking, even emotional, but trust the timing. These souls are returning not to repeat the past, but to participate in the future God has aligned for you. Chosen one, this is a holy hour. You're not just experiencing shifts, you're becoming the shift. The battles you're facing, the dreams you're having, the reunions unfolding, these are not random. They are the final movements before your breakthrough manifests in full. Chosen one, you've made it to the final step, but in truth, this is only the beginning. You are not who you were when this message first found you. Your spirit has been stirred, your eyes opened, and your soul called higher. You've walked through revelation, warning, confirmation, and activation, and now you stand at the edge of divine fulfillment. You've seen the signs, you've felt the shift, and now you know you were never meant to be ordinary. You were chosen, called, anointed for such a time as this. The voice within you is not doubt, it's destiny. The pull you feel is not pressure, it's purpose. So step forward boldly, not with fear, but with fire. Let the world feel your presence. Let the heavens see your obedience. Let every gift inside of you rise to its full potential. This is your season to manifest what God has hidden in you for so long. You are not behind. You are exactly on time. Thank you for walking this sacred path with me. Your presence here is not taken for granted. Whether you've been silently listening or actively engaging, know this: your energy has helped carry this message farther than any algorithm ever could. You're not just a viewer. You're a vessel of light, and your journey is part of a divine ripple effect that touches lives in ways you may never see. If this message has blessed you and you feel led to support this work, you can do so through the Super Thanks feature right below this video. Your generosity helps us continue creating content that awakens, empowers, and equips other chosen ones across the globe. But hear me clearly, whether you donate or not, your presence alone is deeply valued and honored. We are grateful just to have you walk this path with us. The love, prayers, comments, and shares mean more than words can express. Now, may divine favor cover you like a shield. May your next step be guided with clarity. May every delay turn into divine acceleration. May your voice carry truth, your hands build miracles, and your heart overflow with unshakable peace. You are walking with angels. You are held by the Creator. You are being watched over by the Most High. Until we meet again, walk boldly, speak wisely, and remember, the final step is not the end. It's the entrance into everything God has prepared for you. Blessings on your journey, chosen one.